Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Y Mega Evolved. Now, the last Pokemon we talked about was Mega Suicune, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Ledian. But before we get started, let me just give you guys a brief explanation of what this series is about. Now, every week I will be picking two Pokemon that either need a Mega Evolution, deserve a Mega Evolution, or want a Mega Evolution for. Now, this is based off my opinion alone, and no one else's. Now, if you guys do not like my opinion, then please post your own opinions in the comment section down below about what would you keep, what would you change, and etc. And at the end of the video, we'll be telling you guys which Pokemon we're going to be talking about the following day. So with that said, here is Mega Ledian. Now finally the series is back. I can finally record again. It's been a couple weeks since I actually did record a Y Mega Evolve video. Now for you it may have been like a week or so, but that's because I actually bulk recorded and it's been about a couple weeks. Now I do have to let you guys know that my upload schedule for this series may be kind of different, because depending on like what I get on Tuesday and Thursday will depend if there's going to be either a Y Mega Evolve on Monday or on Tuesday, because my English class, which I have on Tuesday, is kind of in the air right now still. So if I upload a Y Mega Evolve video on Monday, there won't be a Y Mega Evolve video on Tuesday. So that's just a little heads up, so you guys don't have to start going crazy about, hey, where's this video? It's supposed to be here today. So if you see one on Monday, then there won't be one on Tuesday. So that's just a little heads up. Now, I've been actually wanting to talk about Mega Ledian for a while now, and it's like, it's one of those forgotten Pokemon, and literally, I mean, I did forget it, because like, I actually had Mega Ledian planned in the past before, around maybe 3 to 4 times now, and like every time when I record a video I always forget and I always pick a different Pokemon. So I was like, you know what, no, I remembered this time, because after when I was done recording Entei, I was like, yo, I want to talk about Mega Ledian. So I quickly made my Mega Suicune video, and then I said I was going to do Mega Ledian next, because then I know I won't forget, because then usually what I do is I watch like the end of my Y Mega Evolve video for the last one I did and figure out which Pokemon I'm going to be doing next, just in case if I forget or something, or if like I just say I'm going to be doing this Pokemon, but then I was like, oh, I forgot I was supposed to do that Pokemon, and so on and so forth, and I finally remembered, and so we're going to be talking about Mega Ledian. So as you can tell from what I did to its stats, I did increase everything but decrease its special attack. Now the reason why I actually decreased its special attack was just because I needed an extra 30 points to distribute into its stats, and that extra 30 points really did come in handy. So let's just start off with its physical attack, obviously, because we always start off with its physical attack. Now I increased its physical attack from base 35 to base 90. Now I want to give this thing a significant increase into its physical attack, because you'll find out sooner or later once we get towards the ability. But anyways, I was actually looking through Ledian's moves, and I found out that Ledian can be pretty much either a physical attacker or a special attacker, and I actually went towards the physical variant side. Now the only reason why I went towards the physical was because Ledian's hidden ability is Iron Fist, which makes completely no sense whatsoever, just because Ledian's base attack without like a Mega Evolution's at base 35, and I was thinking, what is Iron Fist going to even like help it with? I mean, its base attack is pretty much complete and utter shit. So I was looking through its moves and I was like, yo, this thing can get access to the elemental punches, knockoff, drain punch, and a lot of other good physical type attacks. So I was like, you know what, let's just make this thing into a physical attacker, and so that's what I did. So at base 90, this thing is going to be hitting hard like a truck, and you'll find out why sooner or later once we get towards the ability at the end of the video. Now I already told you guys why I already decreased its special attack. Now for its physical defense, I increased it from base 50 to base 80. Now this is where the 30 points actually went to, because I wanted to give a good like boost into its physical defense as well, because at base 50 there's no way Ledian's going to be able to live like a super effective like acrobatics or brave bird or anything like that type of attack from anyone, even in the PU tier, which where I believe Ledian is actually placed right now. Don't quote me on that. If it's not, then I do apologize, but I'm pretty sure it's in the PU tier. But anyways, I want to give it a good increase to base 80, just so then this thing will be able to live at least a couple of very super effective attacks. I mean, it pretty much depends on what kind of route you want to go towards, of like being either a physical wall, special wall, and so on and so forth, because Ledian can actually be a wall of some sort, and that's where its special defense comes in, because I increased it from base 110 to base 130. Now, Ledian was pretty much made to be a special defensive wall, and like I knew about it, but I didn't at the same time, because like I knew one of Ledian's stats was like past 105, and I just couldn't remember which one. And then when I looked at its stats, it was a special defensive stat. So this thing is a special defensive wall, and I didn't want to increase it too much, just so then this thing won't be like too over bulky in the special defensive side. And come on, base 130 for its special defense with the Mega Evolution. This thing is just going to be a wall, man. I really think a base 130 special defense is really going to help it out in the long run, because most of the time you're going to be getting hit by like ice type attacks, which are pretty much special, thunderbolt, and so on and so forth from Pokemon in the PU tiers. So hey, its special defense is just pretty much sky high. Now for its speed, I increased it from base 85 to base 110. Now at the time when I was actually distributing the stats, I was going to make it at like base 100, base 105, somewhere around there, but I was like, you know what, let's just make this into base 110, because I've always seen like Ledian being very fast. Now I know there's a couple people commenting on my videos saying, oh, this Pokemon says in the description. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like Pokédex entries, or like the Dex entries, or whatever you want to call it, like the description of the Pokemon does not matter at the end of the day. I mean, for instance, Game Freak, or no, Pidgeot can have like, this thing is like the best physical attacker ever in its description, but then Game Freak could just turn that shit around and make it a special attacker, which it did for its Mega Evolution. So like I said, at the end of the day, it pretty much does not matter what the Pokédex entry or description says about that Pokemon in any of the generations, because like at the end of the day, whatever it gets, it gets. I mean, there's no way like Game Freak is most likely going to be basing a Pokemon's stats off of like what it says. So that's where I was kind of going at, because I can always see this like Mega Ledian being very fast. So at base 110, this thing will be able to outspeed a lot of good Pokemon in the meta. So like if you decide to bring this thing in like the NU tier or the RU tier, whatever one's above the PU tier, I always get the RU and NU mixed up. This thing will be able to outspeed a lot of the Pokemon in that tier, because I believe above the PU tier is the NU tier, and I believe also Superior was in that tier, but Superior got bumped up to UU, which is pretty good if I do say so myself, but that's besides the point. Now with a Mega Evolution, I have a feeling that if it gets this kind of stats, Ledian is going to get bumped up like maybe a tier or two. I can actually see that happening. There's no way this thing is going to be able to sit very comfortably in the UU tier, because in the UU tier there's a lot of Pokemon that can pretty much just mollywop Ledian. So I can see this thing probably in the NU or RU tier once it gets a Mega Evolution, or if any of this gets a Mega Evolution. Now as a regular Ledian, its base stats at 390, and with the Mega Evolutions at 490. Now sadly enough, its stats are not going to pretty much like benefit it in battle, but that's when the ability comes around. I actually gave Ledian, or Mega Ledian, huge power. Now I know there are other abilities that can mostly benefit and help Ledian in the long run, but I actually went and gave it huge power. Now the reason why I gave it huge power was pretty much because of his hidden ability, which is Iron Fist. I mean, Iron Fist makes no sense. I mean, come on. I mean, it doesn't get like its physical attack does not get a boost. I mean, so giving a huge power to this thing is just going to be mollywopping the whole like meta game in like the lower tiers, because at base 90 and with the huge power ability, your base stats going to be at 180. This thing is just going to be doing massive amount of damage, because look, Ledian can get access to the elemental punches, drain punch, knockoff, U-turn. I also believe, don't quote me on that move because I'm not 100% sure, but there's a lot of other moves that can actually benefit Ledian for being a very good physical attacker. So I actually went with the huge power just because then this thing will be able to be like a very, very good physical attacker in like the lower tiers. So that's where I actually went with. Now, you can also give this thing like maybe what, technician or something like that, but I don't think that's going to benefit for Ledian in the long run. So giving it a really, really good ability like huge power or pure power, because they're pretty much the exact same thing, will help it out in the long run once Ledian does get a Mega Evolution, or if it gets a Mega Evolution. Now for its typing, I actually got rid of its flying type characteristics and put fighting type characteristics. Now I know there's probably going to be people saying that, oh, you should just left it alone, it's perfect as it is, but I actually wanted to change it to fighting just because that it does get a couple fighting type moves like Drain Punch and I believe Brick Break as well, but most of the time you're going to be running like Drain Punch on this on Mega Ledian if it does get like the stats and the ability like this. So the stab, Drain Punch, and also getting health at the end is pretty much going to be very, very viable and very, very good at the same time, and also being stabbed, which is going to be amazing. So with that, there is Mega Ledian. Now I know, like I said, a lot of you guys are probably not going to agree with like the ability and like the stat increases and maybe the typing, but this is actually how I see Mega Ledian. Now like I said, you guys can always put your own opinions in the comment section down below. I actually do read them all, and if I don't like respond to all of them, then like I'll probably just like thumbs it up or something like that, but I do read them all. But anyways, the next Pokemon I really wanted to talk about was Mega Arbok. So the next Pokemon we're going to be talking about, Mega Arbok. We're finally going to be jumping over to first gen again. I mean, we've been talking about the Kalos region and like some of the Johto region, so I wanted to go back to the beginning, the roots of Pokemon, the original 151. We're going to be talking about Mega Arbok. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. And like I said, on Friday we're going to be talking about Mega Arbok. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.